When you check out at the pharmacy, you see the journey from idea to medicine, thanks to our intellectual property system, or IP for short. IP safeguards inventions, like a new way to prevent seizures or lower cholesterol. And IP supports competition from other brands, then lower-cost generics, which are 90% of prescriptions filled in the U.S. Innovation, competition, lower costs, thanks to IP. Learn more at phrma.org/IP works wonders.
Welcome back, folks. It's Wednesday, March 26, 2025, and the last Wednesday in March is Manatee Appreciation Day. Now, it's been over the past decade or so that manatees have been showing up in some numbers in our part of the northern Gulf Coast, and one might think that the Florida subset of the West Indian manatee is making a big comeback in our waters. But there's a theory out there that the big mammals never were a thriving species up here, or even in Florida. University of South Florida anthropology professor Thomas Pluckheim and George Washington University archaeology professor David Thulman published a paper this past fall that hypothesized that sea cows made only occasional trips up from the Caribbean, if at all. They cited a lack of reports of manatees by the earliest Europeans in the New World, that sightings prior to the 1950s seemed to always be treated as novelty, and that manatee bones have been surprisingly rare in archaeological sites in the continental U.S. Now, the theory goes that manatee trips into Florida increased as the Earth came out of the Little Ice Age, and they've continued to swim farther north as Gulf waters have warmed. Plus, they famously flocked to upriver power plants in South Florida, giving them winter refuges that help their populations survive. So, when you see a sea cow this summer, keep out of his or her way. Even though they might not predate European colonization here, most of us don't either. Let's talk about unsolicited seed. I said seed. More small-town politics and a bill targeting those who might want to protest near someone's home. My name is Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. There are reports that some Alabamians have received unsolicited packs of seed, reports AL.com's William Thornton. State officials have tested some and have identified tomato and onion seeds and have not found any dangerous or otherwise harmful compounds. Still, if you receive an unsolicited package of seed, authorities are saying don't run outside and plant it in your garden. Don't toss it out your window like they're worthless magic beans, and don't spread them around the countryside like, Bubba tomato seed. You never know whether the seeds are invasive or perhaps unhealthy for livestock. Instead, Commissioner of Agriculture and Industries Rick Pate sends these instructions. If they're in a sealed package, don't open the package, and report the package to your county cooperative extension office. Now, packages have also been reported in some other states, including Texas. The same sort of thing happened back in 2020 when packages containing flower, vegetable, and herb seeds arrived from China. You probably recall the stories we've had about Tarrant's political squabbling, with the mayor at odds with the city council and police chief. Now, it's involved ugly language, ugly comments about spouses, and at least one punch. That's been going on in Tarrant, which is in Jefferson County. Now, another Jefferson County town, Lipscomb, has its own political controversy, and now it also involves Tarrant Mayor Wayman Newton, reports AL.com's Joseph D. Bryant. You see, the Lipscomb City Council has hired Newton as its city attorney, and Lipscomb Mayor Tanya Baldwin is not happy about it. The immediate issue is over whether the council had the right to appoint a city attorney. Baldwin argues no, that she should be the one to do that. The deeper issue is that Lipscomb, like Tarrant, has government gridlock with the mayor and council at odds. The council believed that the previous city attorney favored the mayor in disagreements, and now Baldwin says she believes the appointment is an effort to control her. As an example of the very Tarrant-like situation in Lipscomb, in September, Baldwin placed the police chief on leave pending an investigation and appointed an acting police chief. Then on February 6th of this year, the council passed a resolution to reinstate the original police chief, and currently Lipscomb is paying 2 police chiefs. Well, on Goat Hill, a bill has been introduced that would make it a crime in some situations to protest or picket near someone's home, reports AL.com's Heather Gann. The bill is from State Senator Arthur Orr, a Decatur Republican. It prohibits someone from, quote, picketing or protesting at or near the residence of any individual with the intent to harass, intimidate, or disturb during the period starting 30 minutes after sunset and ending 30 minutes before sunrise, end quote. Now, it also would prohibit artificial noise and the blocking of public roads, residences, and workplaces. A first violation would be a Class C misdemeanor that could get you 3 months in jail and a $500 fine. Additional violations would be a Class B misdemeanor that could bring 6 months in jail and a $3,000 fine. Well, opening day for the 2025 Major League Baseball season is tomorrow. You know, we have a little bit of a baseball bias here and there on this show. Because of that, and because baseball movies are such a big part of American cinema history, and we don't want to ignore American cinema history here, we'll have a couple of guests on the show tomorrow to talk about our favorite baseball movies of all time. Now, if you're a baseball fan or a film fan, I think you might get something out of it, even if you hate our picks. Now, if you're looking for baseball movies to screen this week, you definitely want to listen in. Well, thanks for listening to us today. We will be back here bright and early tomorrow. Until then, come by and see what we're doing on the internet anytime you want to at AL.com.